Okay, I'm still feeling awesome from yesterday's stress resilience workshop with the Chronic Boss Summit. So, I wanted to talk a bit about something that came up during our discussion yesterday, which was about the language that we use uh, when we speak to our bodies during movement. So, I don't know about you, but in the past, I have tended to be a little tough on myself during movement, or maybe sort of just letting my inner critic get the last word, even in a subconscious way, um, while moving. And I think a lot of this stems from, just movement being associated with like a punitive thing that I was doing to try and, shrink my body through movement. And so it's very easy to sort of try to motivate yourself through disgust. And I think this is a relatable kind of feeling that you go in there into the gym and you kind of push yourself and you're like work harder so that you can, you know, get closer to your goal of shrinking your body. And so that just has caused in my life like a lot of really bad habits around the way that I speak to myself during movement. We could go into a whole bigger discussion about how I speak to myself generally, which related to my anxiety is generally not very nice. But just I found it really impactful in my own movement practice to start speaking positive words into my body as I move. And if you do any kind of self-help or self-empowerment, reading, you'll find that most people recommend having a practice of positive affirmations. Um, I have just not ever found, a way to do that that felt really authentic to me, standing in front of the mirror or whatever and like giving myself a go, you know, rah rah rah. But I I do find gratitude to be a really powerful entry point to positive affirmations in my life because it's easier to think about the things I'm glad I have rather than pump myself up, if that makes sense. And again, this is just my own relationship to affirmations as a practice. So what I've started doing, and you've probably noticed this even in my restorative Pilates mat classes, is trying to create little moments inside the class where we're turning inward and saying, "Thank you, body. Thank you for showing up for me today. Thank you for making it possible for me to move in this way today. Thank you for responding to my exhale in relaxation, which is what I was craving, or whatever the thing may be. Thank you for being so strong. Thank you for doing that hard thing." And so that has been a powerful entry point to me and for just kind of speaking positively to my body and ridding myself of that really negative movement critic. Um, and so I think if you can find things about your body that you believe are true, I don't think it's very helpful to have positive affirmations we don't really believe are true. Or say things that we wish were true, like, I am rich, or, you know, I am perfect, or things, like that's, that feels maybe not so real to me. But to say things like, I'm strong, I am capable, I am safe, um, I am worthy of feeling good in this body, my body is amazing, my body um, enables me to do the things that bring me joy and happiness, and my body is participates in the way that I love and care for and show up for the people that I care for. So there's just lots of ways to speak positively. And so my challenge to you this week is to, throughout your movement practice, make sure you're using moments to check in and see if you're saying anything negative. And even if you aren't, to use that moment to say something really positive about your body and see if you can make it a practice. Um, I find that there are certain movements I now automatically tie to gratitude because they're sort of the places where I tend to put those positive affirmations. And I think it's really powerful when you can start to create links like that in your body. Like, oh, I'm doing a twist, and this is the moment, this one of the moments where I'm like, my body allows me to feel ease, right? And so now when I do that movement, it's kind of like ease is sort of where my brain goes. And I think that that can be a super powerful way to help connecting to those sentiments when you really don't feel them, is creating those patterns on days when you do feel good and you can get yourself connected to that thought pattern and tied to the movement. And then when you go to do that movement, it automatically comes up. The brain is very plastic or very moldable, which is a wonderful thing. We just need to learn how to tap into that. So, yeah, that's this week's motivation. Practice that and let me know how that goes for you. See you next week.